Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the CZ PO9. I picked this up at Airsoft Station, not sponsored by them, unfortunately, for around $150 to $175. I can't remember at this point. But the airsoft market always changing, so one day an Elite Force 1911 could be $104 to $120, and then the next week it could drop down to $95. Not sure why this is. You would think it'd just be like everything else and it'd only change price over, a couple years, but that's just how the airsoft market is. Now, looking at this pistol, we have ambidextrous safety, which only works if you have the hammer cocked to the rear position, and the safety does work quite well. Now, on the other side here, we have your slide block, which only works if the mag is in, and I just took the mag out, as you can see here. So it's not going to lock back if you don't have the mag in. Now, I've shot this many times, and I lended it to a friend for a game of airsoft, and he just shot probably a bajillion rounds through it. And now sometimes it will rack with the mag in, sometimes it won't. Now you do need the mag out to be to take the slide out, and what you're going to want to do, takes the slide out, rack it back one time, and this little pin here is connected to the slide release and lock back system, and these two notches right here, there's one on the slide that should be relatively visible when you get the gun. This one's a little worn down, so it's a little harder to see, but you just go back and you push in the pin on that side, which should be enabling you to remove your slide system, and then you just take the slide off. Now, if you don't know how to take and put off a slide, I'd recommend YouTubing it to take all the internal parts out. Put it back on, just kind of start at the beginning slots here and slide it on, kind of like that. Now there will be a little metal piece, should be right around here, that you have to push down, cock the hammer if you need to, and push it down, so that way you can get it to go on. And now we're going to just, again, put it to about where those two lines right here line up, and we're just going to kind of push it in here, and now our slide is back working. Now this is a single action, double action pistol, which means if you rack the slide, the trigger will reset to the rear, enabling you to get quick shots. And then since this is a gas pistol, if you were to rack it once to get the round in the chamber originally, and you pull the trigger, it would just keep resetting the trigger to that rear position. Now you do not have to pull back the slide in order to fire this gun. You could just pull the trigger twice, but this would result in the first trigger pull being a dry fire, which would not be good for the gun. Now you can kind of see the sights here are dotted with white, makes it easier to acquire the sights, a little easier. You have a tack rail here. This one is in the desert tan color. Some grips, pretty nice grips here, and then we have millings in the slide here, both at the top and the bottom. It's a pretty low profile slide, and you do have 14mm negative threads here, with your protective cover that is orange tip if you're in the US, and you can put suppressors on there, tracer units, muzzle brakes, whatever you need. Well, not need, you don't need any of that stuff really. Whatever you want that's 14mm negative threads, you can put on the gun. Kind of looks like a Glock, but it's just communist version of a Glock. This gun was designed in the 80s or 90s. I think it was late 90s. The real steel component. And this one is the CO2 version. You can kind of see the mag here, CO2, and how you get the CO2 to tighten it in there is there is a little notch here, and you pull that up, which is also connected to the loading spring for the BBs, and then there will be a Allen wrench key there. You can look it up if you don't know how to put a CO2 cartridge in. I personally like CO2 over green gas because there's more power, and it works a lot better in colder conditions. Now this mag is double stack mag, and it holds around 20 BBs. Now I need to get a couple more mags because this one has been leaky. So when you go to an airsoft store, make sure that the gun that you're getting out of the box is fully functional, because some airsoft stores are a little gimmicky about returns. So that's all there is to be said about this gun for the most part. It has a polymer receiver and metal upper frame. Your safety, your slide lock, and your trigger is all metal, as well as this mag release is metal. Most of the internal parts are metal. Your threads are metal. So very well built gun. I had a Elite Force 1911 before. Actually, I think it was a KWC 1911, and that has not been performing as well as this. It was a little more accurate, but it just failed on me. And so yeah, so now I have this, pretty happy with it, and it's been a great gun so far.